Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Portland, Maine. I'm Andrew Mercado from Status Coup News. We're out here reporting live on the scene of the National Day of Protest as the community here in Maine, in Portland, Maine, and the surrounding areas from Biddeford, Scarborough, and others have came here to stand in solidarity and demand accountability for the ICE killing of Johann Sebastian Guerrero, who is a 25-year-old Colombian national who was killed on Monday by David Brulette, a 37-year-old resident here in Maine, and killed Johann Sebastian Guerrero in cold blood. We have been covering this story all week here on the ground in Maine. There's going to be an organized protest with speakers. We're going to talk to people on the ground here, guys. There's likely going to be a march, so we're going to be marching. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel and everything on social media to support. Make sure you go to statuscoup.com/join for as low as $5 a month to support us on the ground and keep independent media going. I believe are we going to try to do an interview, John, before the speakers? Okay, so we're going to try to do an interview. Let's talk to Kyle, who is actually a resident here. Kyle, good to meet you. You live here?
Yes, right in Portland.
Talk about it.
It's been pretty surreal, to be honest with you. This week has been just incredibly long. I was out here Monday for the vigil, and then Tuesday just marching in the streets with everybody, and it's still a lot to process, even ever since Catch of the Day.
Did you ever feel like that stopped?
I mean, they definitely changed their tactics and how they were going about things, but I feel like in the last few months, it's not even just here, but across the country, they've really stepped things up, obviously, like in Texas, now here in Biddeford. It's just unbelievable.
What do you want people to know most about the community out here in Maine, right? You know, me and John have been covering these ICE tragedies around the country, but what do you want people to know about Maine?
Mainers stick with each other. We were out here, I couldn't believe how many people were out here Tuesday, during the week. I'm sure more people are going to be showing up here shortly. But just the sense of community has been unlike anywhere else I've lived. So
seriously, and the amount of people showing up out here using their voice, it's something we've seen all week, from the vigil to the mechanics park down just right down the road.
Down there yesterday.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. I stopped. I hadn't been to Biddeford since it happened, and I wanted to leave some flowers at the memorial, and that's still sitting very heavy with me too. It's just being there in person and being able to see his blood still on the sidewalk. It's just unreal.
Yeah, and people don't realize that until we show it or you talk about it, that his blood is on the road. They left him out there for 5 hours.
Yeah, it's so inhumane. I don't know how you can do that to anyone, let alone someone with a social security number, and I don't understand it.
Right, and then when we hear about the ICE agent who killed him, David Brulette, just an absolute nutcase.
Just an absolute loser.
Yeah. There's more reporting that actually Jolly Good Ginger, you know Jolly Good Ginger?
Yeah, I actually saw him here on Tuesday. Yeah.
He just did an interview with, he's over there. He just did you'll see him again. Yeah, right. Hey, there he is. Yeah. So he just did an interview with his ex-wife, and we found out even more information. Oh, wow. He's threatened her in the past. He's been abusive.
I haven't seen that yet. I saw the alternative press stuff that came out yesterday, but no, I'll have to watch that. That's wow.
Yeah, he just did it this morning. That's why he wasn't at the morning protest. Otherwise, he would have been there with us this morning, but he was actually doing that. So, but tell us about that. We continue to give these ICE agents that have no training and are also very abusive, right? They're just the worst people, right?
No, I mean, that type of job is always going to attract just these real sickos that just want to project power in some way, whether it's through violence or... I mean, it just weak masculine men is what it is.
Seriously. And then, ironically, when they're posting high T
it's you got Pete Hegseth just being the most low T dude out there. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And then these people are in charge of us, and then they want to fund so much money to these militarized.
And that's the one thing with if you talk to most people here today, you're going to find out that most Mainers don't like Susan Collins at all, and she's a big proponent of a lot of this. Between just allowing ICE to be funded in the way that it has been, it's crazy. They're better funded than most militaries on the planet. How does that make any sense? And just between her and doing that and just lining her own pockets with her husband, we need to get all those politicians out there doing that, man. And the insider trading just got to stop.
Right, there's so many problems in the entire political establishment, and I've actually seen that here in Maine. There might not even be people that might be left-wing, that are speaking to us that are yo, that was wrong. We can't have that.
Yeah, no, it's. I talked to some family members that normally are maybe a little more on the right side of things, and they're even yeah, no, it's just wrong. Like, you just don't shoot people in the face.
No, and then try to cover it up afterwards.
Just call it like a public safety thing. Like, you're discharging a firearm in a densely populated neighborhood like 6 times. Like, come on.
Exactly, and there's like the small business that's right there, and then there's kids on their bikes.
Like, police officers, like, they train them. You don't shoot at a moving vehicle. You don't even discharge your weapon more than 3 times. Like, it's ridiculous.
It's sick, and then all that money going to them. We don't have money for housing, health care, No,
like, I just had to work on a Saturday to just get, like, enough to continue on with the month. Like, it's,
It's ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. And we talk about that often, how many Americans have to work multiple jobs or work the weekend. Like, we don't even have a weekend really anymore.
No. We're back to working like 80 hours a week. Like, it's like nothing happened over the last 100 years. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Have you heard any updates from the city government? It's now Saturday. From any answers about what happened on Monday?
No. And as far as like what's going to happen with this guy that did kill Mr. Guerrero, like, I hope he sees his day in court. Like, there needs to be an investigation. There needs to be more looked into this. It seems like as far as the actual event itself, it's just kind of been brushed aside now. Yeah. And I hope that in the coming weeks that we do see more, like, an investigation. I mean, he should be in jail right now. He should be sitting behind bars.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it's a culture we're seeing with the federal government because, like in Minnesota, where I'm from, we don't have answers for Renee Good or Alex Pretty either.
And the fact that you guys handled that as well as you did and didn't like completely, break shit down is very impressive. So, because seeing Alex Pretty murdered in that way, like, definitely radicalized me more than I ever have been in my 30 years of life. So.
To see the government, I mean, again, we're supposed to have a Second Amendment, and he was exercising his right, concealed firearm, and then they disarm him and then gun him down in the road.
No, it's disgusting. Like, I'm totally for the Second Amendment, and to see that, like, what's the point? I know it's not for shooting deer. Like, it's, disgusting.
What are you hoping the takeaway is from this protest here? It's a national day of protest. There's many other cities out protesting right now, solidarity with Maine and other ICE killings that are taking place around the country, actually. What do you want the takeaway to be from this protest?
I want to see ICE gone. Like, we can put that money towards so many better things. Like, they don't need to be around. Like, I'm older than that organization itself. We can figure something out. We can come up with a better, more comprehensible way to, like, do immigration for one, because that in itself is a joke. Like, how do you expect someone to want to do it the right way if it takes half a lifetime?
And then when they are doing it the right way, you murder them anyways.
Yeah, you still shoot them in the face anyways. It's like, there is definitely a group of people in this country, and even in this state, that like are cheering on what happened. Even when I was in Biddeford yesterday, there was some asshole driving by in his Tesla, blaring "Another One Bites the Dust," like honking his horn, yelling at us. Like, people are trying to mourn, and you're just being a disgusting piece of shit. Also, secondly, if they're gonna play a song like that, they should pick one that's not from like a Lebanese immigrant who was bisexual. Like, I feel like that's not a very good representation of what they believe in. So
it's kind of similar to Trump playing the YMCA to close it.
Like,
it's all aesthetics with them.
Cognitive dissonance is just their whole thing. Like, it's unreal.
Well, Kyle, thank you so much for your time. I believe the protest is going to get started here.
Me, and thank you for coming out here and doing this. Like, it's really great to see you guys out here.
Absolutely, buddy. Have a good one.
You too.
Again, guys, Status Coup News reporting here. We are in Portland, Maine, here in Monument Square. There's hundreds of people out here now as we started the stream. More and more people have gathered, and there's going to be speeches. You guys can see that there's you got the Ideal Maine Band, Social Aid Sanctuary, and right now they're getting it started, and then I believe there will be some speakers, and then if it's anything like it was earlier in the week and other protests we've had in Portland, Maine, they will take off into a march. Hi.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
I brought you whoopie pies.
Oh, wow.
I bought cupcakes and I realized that I was not going to be fucking dragging them all around. So I bought you both whoopie pies.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
you so much. Thank you. I got whoopie pies. Oh, yeah, well, so Maynard just came up to us and thanked us for our reporting and gave us some whoopies. wicked whoopies, some candies.
Maine Party for Socialism and Liberation. I promise I do know who I am. Let's have everybody come in together, especially if you're behind me right now. Come around. It's going to be easier to hear. And we have a great lineup of speakers. We want everybody to be able to hear, and that way the people that struggle can come in behind. So what we're here for today is to fight for justice for Johann Sebastian and Lorenzo and all of the victims of ICE terror. We're here to demand and fight for full rights for all immigrants, and we're fighting for ICE out of Maine and all of our communities. Today, over 70 cities all across the nation are taking to the streets to fight against the Trump administration's war on immigrants. In the past 8 days, 4 people have been murdered by ICE or died in ICE custody. This year alone, over 20 people have lost their lives because of ICE. Shame! And we don't need ICE. There was a time in my lifetime where we didn't have ICE. What is it for? To terrorize our communities and hunt down people in the streets. That's right. I don't know about you, but I'm here because I am sick of it. Enough is enough. Yes. I'm not going to allow ICE to terrorize my neighbors anymore. And I'm so happy and proud as a lifelong Mainer to see you all out here to demand that as well. So like I said, we have a great lineup of community organizers and leaders in our community to speak today. We're going to start with Faisal, who's a civil human rights advocate and founder of the Carolina Peace Center.
All right, Faisal!
Yeah, you got one. So Zach X is over there across the street yelling at the protest. He's an out-of-state agitator. Came here to target the protest. He's got Metheny over there with him.
Portland! Portland! Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that we, all of us, can come together and fight back this tyranny, this violence, this horrible crimes on our streets? Do you believe, Portland? You gotta get so loud today so the people on the Pennsylvania Avenue can hear you clear and loud. Portland, are you ready to fight back? Are you ready to take back your streets? All right, we're gonna come back to that believing part soon. As we look around here right now, as we look around and we look at each other, to our left, on our right, in front of us, and behind us, we notice something beautiful happening at this moment in Portland, Maine, all across the state and all across this country. Something is taking birth. This is a new America, if you look around each other. An America of people of all backgrounds, of all immigration status, people of all different colors and faiths and no faiths, standing shoulder to shoulder today. And we are coming together because we want violence and brutality to end in our streets now! We want peace. We want to live in dignity and respect. We want our elected officials from both parties to show courage, to show strength, and to stand up for justice. I demand our elected officials, Democrats and Republicans, independents, everyone in power, to uphold the principles and values that are enshrined in our Constitution. ICE, as an organization, has much power because it has been heavily funded by both Democrats and Republicans. It is our responsibility to hold members of both parties. And I, and we, demand Maine's Attorney General to launch a thorough and transparent and rigorous investigation into ICE agent who killed Johan and bring him to justice and accountability. We are learning that this agent told his ex-wife that he was one of the who pulled the trigger and that he defended what he did. The people of Maine deserve to hear the truth. We demand that Attorney General update his community on regular basis about the progress of this investigation and the steps being taken. We can no longer just assume. We will not wait. We want answers now! I believe in the unity of the nation that belongs to people of all backgrounds and colors, white, black, and brown. We believe in this nation belongs to indigenous communities and black communities alike. We are here because we had enough. We are here because our brother Johan Sebastian Guerrero, a younger father, a working man, was killed on the streets of Biddeford. We say his name, Johan. Lorenzo Salgado Arua, killed in Houston. We say his name, Lorenzo. Renee Nicole Good, killed in Minneapolis. We say her name, Renee. Alex Jeffrey Pretty, killed in Minneapolis. We say his name, Alex. We say their names and we do not forget. We honor their legacy and we honor their humanity by being strong, by being courageous, and by being brave for fighting for justice and for peace. So many others in ICE detentions have been violently killed, murdered because of their existence, because they stood for the truth, because they were trying to portray the best of our humanity. This is not who we are. We are tired and we will not give up. We will not surrender to bigotry and hate. We will not bow down to bullies and to fascist ideology. We will not be intimidated by the white supremacist ideology, by being chased, intimidated, and attacked in our streets. I believe strongly that we shall overcome this. I believe that we are in the process of something very beautiful to come. I believe that we are honoring today Johan, our brother who was killed in broad daylight on the streets of Biddeford. And we honor his legacy, and we honor his family, and we honor his daughter's dreams, hopes, and aspirations. Hopes and aspiration by saying, I believe we are a nation that can no longer and will not push into a corner by bigots and racists. I believe that we are going through a new birth. I believe we are living through the transformation of a new America. And I believe that we will not be crushed because we have come together. When we are united, we are powerful. We will not be humiliated. We will not bow down to bigotry, hate, racism, and white supremacy. No more anymore. I believe that the future of this country is beautiful and grand because there are more good people in this nation. People who know that what is happening in our country right now, the policy raining down on our streets, the fear, the hate, the bigotry is not who we are. And I believe that many of us who have been silent, who have been intimidated, are ready now to speak out. I believe it's time for them to speak out. Break away from the shackles of fear, from the corporate control, from the grip of wealth and power, and to let your conscience guide you to truth and to justice. What is ICE doing in our streets where their tactics of intimidation and brutality against civilians, against immigrants and refugees, particularly black and brown immigrants and refugees? Let's call it what it is. It is mimicking what is happening in occupied Palestine, in Gaza, in West Bank. The genocide is still going on as I speak. The genocide is still going on. The ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian streets is still going on in broad daylight. And the same playbook is mimicking here. Let's not forget, many of our law enforcement officers are trained by the same Israeli occupying forces. This brutality, this violence is something that the United States has been exporting abroad. And unfortunately, it's now coming back to us in a boomerang. Back on our streets, staring right in the face, demanding something of us. And as I come to an end, and we have a responsibility as this beautiful fabric of our nation to be strong, to be courageous, to put our differences and our prejudice aside, and to rise. So I ask you, Portland, rise for the working class, rise for the blue-collar families, rise for the people who cannot pay their rent, rise for the people who have no roof over their heads, rise for the people who cannot afford their medicine, rise for the people who cannot protect themselves on the streets because of their color and ethnicity, because of the immigration status, because of who they love. Rise for everybody, Portland! I believe that each of you, when you go home tonight, carry the power, carry the courage, carry the best of your humanity. The love, the compassion, the shining light in your heart. to believe that you can make a difference in our community, to organize, to support, to help, to speak the truth, to support the organizations that are at the forefront in Portland right now for immigrants, and to hold your Democratic and Republican or independent elected officials accountable. I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to believe that I am one, but I am powerful. Because there's nothing more powerful than the human spirit. I believe that when we believe in each other, when we believe in our own abilities, in our own capability, when we come together shoulder to shoulder, we shall overcome this. The future is bright. Do not give hope. And hold our brothers and sisters who have been taken from us in our streets close. We never forget them. We keep them close to our hearts, close to our minds. And in their name, we continue to fight. And we continue to do the good work. So Portland, are you ready to fight back?
Thank you, Faisal. Like Faisal said, we will not give up. We won't stop until ICE stops. We will continue to mobilize. We'll continue to organize until we win justice for victims of ICE terror. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here, 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 no hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. Woo! Our next speaker is Sophia from Community Organizing Alliance. Hello, everyone. Oh, wow.
Hello everyone, my name is Sophia Khalid and I'm a community organizer from Lewiston. I am very short, so I hope you guys can see me. This week, our state witnessed something that should never happen in any community. Johan Sebastian Guerrero left for work and never came home. Today, his partner is carrying a burden that no parent should ever have to carry. She has shared that she does not know how to tell their 3-year-old child that her father is gone and will never come home. Imagine carrying that burden. Imagine looking into the eyes of your child and trying to explain why the person she loves the most, the person she expected to come home, will never come again. No family should ever have to endure that kind of grief. Johan's death did not happen in isolation. It exposed the reality that immigrant communities have been living with for months, even after cameras stopped paying attention. We organizers, stood alongside families who felt abandoned. We answered the phone calls, we connected with families, we connected with legal support, and helped communities navigate fear. Because we understood that what they were experiencing was not temporary. It was a result of an immigration system that has increasingly become punitive, increasingly militarized, and increasingly disconnected from the humanity of the people it touches. That is the conversation this country has been avoiding for way too long. This is bigger than one officer. This is bigger than one agency. It is bigger than one administration. This is about a system that has been sustained for decades because too many people found it easier to preserve it than to fundamentally change it. It is a system that has normalized fear in immigrant communities, normalized family separation, normalized heavily armed enforcement in our communities, and too often treated human beings as problems to be managed instead of neighbors deserving dignity and humanity. When a system repeatedly produces fear, trauma, grief, and irreversible loss, we cannot simply ask how to improve it. We have a moral responsibility and an obligation to ask whether it reflects the values we claim to believe in and whether we have the courage to build something better. If we are truly wanting to honor Johan's family, his life, then we cannot be satisfied with grief alone. We have waited for far too long, and if this week has taught us something, it is that we cannot continue believing someone else will build the country that we deserve. Throughout history, justice has never arrived because people in power suddenly decided to do something right. It arrived because ordinary people like yourselves, accepted an extraordinary responsibility to one another.
That's right.
They organized. They challenged systems and institutions. They imagined something better. And they refused to stop until their communities were treated with dignity, fairness, and humanity. That same responsibility belongs to each and every one of us. This is no longer simply a political question. It is a moral obligation.
No fear. Immigrants are welcome here. Hey, no fear. Immigrants are
Welcome here, no hate. No fear. Immigrants are welcome here, no hate. No fear. Immigrants are welcome here, no hate. No fear. Immigrants are welcome here, no hate. This is no longer simply a political question. It is a moral question. It asks every one of us, what kind of country are we willing to leave behind? What kind of future do you want your children to inherit? What kind of future do you want your grandchildren to grow up in? Do you want them to inherit a country where immigrant families leave for work wondering whether they will make it home? Where fear becomes a normal part of daily life? And where grieving families are accepted as a cause of a broken system? Do you want them to inherit a country where every child, regardless of where they were born, the language they speak, or the faith they practice, knows they belong here and that their life has an equal worth? One day our children and grandchildren will ask, what did we do during this moment? I hope we all can answer that question, that we did not look away, we did not become numb, and that we did not wait for someone else to save us. Because the truth is that we all are here. Because the truth is that we are all we have. When the cameras leave, these cameras, when they leave, we are still here. When the speeches end, we are still here. When the news cycles moves on, Johan's daughter will still wake up without her father, and immigrant families across the state will be asking whether they are safe. That is our responsibility. That is why our responsibility begins today. It begins by protecting one another, organizing our communities, standing alongside families long after the cameras disappear, and refusing to let fear divide us. Democracy is not something we inherit, it is something we fucking build. I believe we have the power to change this country, because history has always belonged to ordinary people who refuse to accept injustice inevitable. They built movements because they changed laws, they changed hearts because they changed institutions, and they proved that lasting change begins when communities are willing to stand with one another. That is how we honor Johan today. Thank you, Sophia.
When Sophia said that our immigrant neighbors are people worthy of dignity and respect, that really resonated with me. Johann Sebastian was our neighbor, and he was worthy of dignity and respect and not being hunted down and assassinated in our streets. And as Sophia also said, history is made, change is made by ordinary people. Look around you. These are your neighbors. We outnumber them. We are the ordinary people, and we are the ones that make change. I want you to chant it with me. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. 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 I want you to remember that. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. Our next speaker is Sophie, an organizer with the Maine DSA.
Hi, Portland! My name is Sophie, and as Robin said, I'm the former chapter chair of the Maine Democratic Socialists of America. Before I start, I want to call out the Maine Wire and other right-wing groups who have openly admitted to plan to wear Maine DSA merch to protest this week and wear hidden cameras and wires to talk to other protesters. Shame! Let me say that no Maine DSA member has been authorized to interview or recruit members in this crowd today. And on behalf of my chapter, shame on them for attempting to turn these peaceful protests into an opportunity to impersonate organizers and activists who strive to make our community better. Shame!
The Maine wire is disgusting.
So I'm an organizer in Maine, and I also live in Biddeford, just a few blocks away from where my neighbor, Johann Sebastian Duran Guerrero, was brutally executed in the street by ICE in front of his 3-year-old daughter and wife. I did not personally know my neighbor, but I immediately recognized his face. This is because, like all towns in Maine, we are small. We all know each other. We are one person removed from knowing each other. In January, our federal government launched Operation Catch of the Day, and we knew then that our government did not see us as human beings. Our small towns were attacked. Cars left abandoned in the middle of the street still running after ICE took people. ICE vehicles driving fast in school zones, racing past children, businesses too afraid to open, community members organizing food drop-off to people scared to leave their homes, a neighbor afraid to go to a hospital during active kidney failure because of fear that they'd be thrown into detention. They parked outside of my home, our neighbors' homes, and anyone's homes who was vocally against what they were doing to intimidate us. They took over 200 people in January alone. And although the full-scale operation ended, they never left. And in the past few weeks, in Biddeford, they increased their abductions, with at least 8 people being abducted in one day in Biddeford alone. Shame! Our deepest fear was always that they would murder someone, and that fear came true. When things like this happen elsewhere, it is still devastating. But when they happen in our own backyards, it is beyond hard to grapple with. The illusion that our communities are safe has been shattered long ago, but this murder is beyond comprehension. Each time something like this happens to our neighbors, more and more of us pour into the streets like we are today. So while we're gathered here, I'm begging everyone here to get organized. Please educate yourself on how to best support and uplift our immigrant neighbors from organizations like Presente, Community Organizing Alliance, and the Maine Center for Maine Immigrant Rights Coalition. Join organizations that are fighting back, like the Maine Democratic Socialists of America and PSL. We are much stronger when our voices come together. And I'll end with this. What Trump, Tom Homan, and all these fascist pigs don't understand is that Maine is small, and we are so close-knit, and so we fight for each other. Maine is unique because of this. This is our strength, and because of that strength, our courage is endless. And I know this because we've all shown up before. We got cities across the state to divest from Israel's genocide. We got rent control, and one of the highest minimum wages in the country here in Portland. We established a strike fund. We established mutual aid networks. Everything Mainers have set our minds to, we have accomplished. And I can see all of you here across Monument Square, ready to fight back, and we will continue to do it loudly together. I know that we will find justice for my neighbor Johann and his family. We will find justice for all of those that have been taken and brutalized by ICE. We will get ICE out of Maine, and we will abolish ICE. Please donate to the Maine Solidarity Fund and Johann's family's GoFundMe. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophie. Like Sophie said, Maine may be small, but we are mighty. And if there's anything I know about this state, is we come together when we need to. Now let's be clear, these deaths in our community are a direct result of the Trump administration's war on working class immigrant communities. But they are not the fault of the Trump administration alone. The development and expansion of ICE has been a bipartisan effort. Every single congressperson, Democrat or Republican, who voted for increased ICE funding has the blood of these working family immigrant men on their hands. ICE may have pulled the trigger, but these political misleaders handed them the guns. ICE Kylie from the Answer Coalition. Act now to stop war and end racism. Give it up for Kylie.
Hello, Portland! I am Kylie, and I'm speaking for the Answer Coalition. Johann Sebastian Duran Guerrero's murder was not a mistake or a fluke in the system. This was a product of intentional policy choices made over the course of years. Last June, Congress people from both parties voted to loot $900 billion from Medicaid to fund ICE expansion that ultimately killed Johan in Biddeford and Lorenzo Soldado Araujo in Houston, Texas. Congress, with Susan Collins' vote, made ICE the single best funded federal law enforcement agency in history. Shame! Nearly 12 million people lost their health insurance since these cuts went into effect just 6 months ago. How many people have lost their lives because they couldn't afford to see a doctor, because they couldn't access life-saving medications or pay thousands of dollars for ambulance rides? Republican politicians say they're keeping us safe from our neighbors and friends. Meanwhile, Democratic politicians will make vague allusions to compromise and to the rule of law. The result is the same: a war on our communities, an occupation. There's no debate in Congress when it's time to fund the U.S. military, but the same representatives will act like there's no funding available for our needs. Shame! Trump and his billionaire backers want to run the world as one bloody occupation, from here to Latin America to Gaza. The same capitalist system that cuts life-saving services here continues to spread violence, repression, and terror around the world. We have to point this out because everything is connected. Since 2023, the U.S. government has spent $21 billion on so-called defense to Israel, including direct military support for that country's genocide against Palestinians. Shame! Shame! And we've all felt the cost of Trump's war on Iran, spending $100 billion to annihilate children in their classrooms and destroy civilian infrastructure and homes has not made Americans more secure. On the contrary, it has cost us an extra $30 billion in gas and grocery prices. This is a redirection of our resources and taxes we pay away from services our communities need and to campaigns of terror around the world. That is why we say money for jobs and education, not for wars and deportation.
Money for jobs and education, not for war and deportation.
This war on immigrants is an extension of a war against all working people. Colombia has been the largest recipient of U.S. military assistance in the Western Hemisphere. The U.S. has spent more than $10 billion since 1980 to violently repress movements of farmers and workers and to keep Colombia controlled by the rich. Johan came here from a country with a 30% poverty rate, from the Bucaramanga region, where tech and agricultural companies are offered 0% tax rates as incentive to exploit the land and people. We as Americans didn't choose democratically to keep Colombia under the heel of imperialism, just like we didn't choose to destroy Gaza or create Trump's private Gestapo. These policies were chosen for us by a ruling class that pursues profit over human values and pursues control over the entire world. From Biddeford to Bucaramanga, the mission of imperialism is to keep capitalism safe by making it unsafe for workers. The root of mass migration is U.S. imperialism. The U.S. has backed civil war and regime change in many countries like Haiti, Syria, Colombia, and Somalia, further driving them into political instability. People from these countries follow the path of their stolen wealth straight to the U.S., just to be exploited by a system that profits off their labor, while refusing to grant them a path of full citizenship. The system would rather kill them than grant them full rights. We can't solve our problems here by ignoring what our government does everywhere else, because despite political borders or oceans, we are closer to the working people of all other countries than to the war-hungry billionaires within our own country. Just like in Maine, we are one people. We live on one planet and work in one economy. And the only way we can fight back is together. We will end ICE terror! We will win full rights for all immigrants. We will also stop the destruction that drives people out of their homes and their communities. Money for jobs and education, not for war and deportation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and deportation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and deportation.
Thank you, Kylie. As Kylie said, it's the death and destruction of the war machine abroad that fuels displacement everywhere and forces immigrants to come here. These policies were chosen for us, and I don't know about you, but I will not stand for it anymore. Our tax dollars are being used to terrorize people at home and abroad. That's why we demand full rights for all immigrants, and that our tax dollars be used for our own well-being here, for housing, for education at home. And that's why we demand money for jobs and education, not for war and deportation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and deportation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and deportation. Our next speaker is Jolly. I'd like to welcome Jolly up to the mic.
First of all, appreciate the organizers for putting this together. This is amazing. I want to thank all the Mainers for showing up. Last night I Googled the population of Maine. It's only 1.4 million people. And when I look at how many people are marching in the streets from Portland to Scarborough to Biddeford, I'm impressed. A lot of you motherfuckers are pissed off. I want to say a couple quick things. I hope that you continue this. I've had the opportunity to travel to a lot of cities where ICE are kidnapping and killing people. And one thing I've learned from every city is that there's a whole hell of a lot more of us than there are of them. And sometimes it feels like maybe we're fighting this fight alone, but we're not. We are a collective people. I grew up in the mountains of North Carolina, in the foothills of Appalachia where they grow MAGA. And I learned a lot about my country growing up, how we were the greatest country on earth and how we are freedom and we are the pinnacle. When I was 18, I joined the Army to go fight for freedom, and then I woke the fuck up one day. Because when I got overseas, I found out that I was welcomed in people's homes with open arms, some of the nicest people I've ever met. And even here in America, when I go into immigrant communities, you will never enter an immigrant community where you are not welcome, where they don't feed you, where they won't love you, where they will not fucking bring you into their homes. And then my country sent me to Iraq and told me the terrorists are over there. And then I woke the fuck up and found out I was the terrorist. And so, after being raised a cishet white Christian male and sent off to war to become a veteran, I'm now an atheist, LGBTQIA+ friendly, anti-war, pro-immigrant, fuck Donald Trump. Change is possible. Until Americans that look like me, until Americans that stand on the other side of the street with their same tired fucking rhetoric wake up and realize that when they're done with the black community and the brown community and the immigrant community and the LGBTQI+ community, they're coming for you too. So if you don't have the basic empathy to care about them, at least be selfish enough to care about yourself. So what I say is this. What happened here is absolute tragedy. It goes without saying. Yohan was murdered in the street by masked thugs. State-sponsored terrorism is what ICE is. And I agree with what your message is. Abolish ICE. All I say is we can't stop there. The status quo is how we got here. MAGA is just the Confederate States of America rebranded. And it's high fucking time that white supremacy is put in the fucking concentration camps. And it's high fucking time. It's high fucking time that we as Americans stop turning a blind eye, especially white Americans, stop turning a blind eye to what we know is happening in these white churches, the same churches I grew up in, what we know is happening in these white communities, what we know is happening behind the closed door. Stop being silent. Your silence is violence. Your silence is complicity. Speak up. Stop it now. Fuck ICE. Fuck Donald Trump. I want freedom.
We need to stay organized, and we need to stay in the streets. We need to keep fighting for Johann Sebastian, for Lorenzo, for all of the victims of ICE terror, and not stop there. We're just getting started.
That's right. That's right.
That is the only way we're going to free our communities and bring ICE to its knees. No justice, no peace. No ICE in our streets. No justice, no peace. No ICE in our streets. No justice, no peace. No ICE in our streets. No justice, no peace. No ICE in our streets. No justice, no peace. No ICE in our streets. No justice, no peace. No ICE in our streets. No justice, no peace. No ICE in our streets. No justice, no peace. No ICE in our streets. No justice, no peace. No ICE in our streets. No justice, no peace. No ICE in our streets. No peace. No ICE in our streets. No justice, no peace. No ICE in our streets. I'd like to welcome Kakis from Deaf New America to the mic.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thanks for everyone for coming here, and welcome. I really want you. Yeah. Okay. So I'm sorry. The interpreter needed to speak louder. Apologize. My name is Kakis, and my last name is Mendoza, and I wanted to share my story, my personal story, and what happened to me at the hands in January of 2026.
Hey all, there's a deaf man speaking through an interpreter. It might not sound loud to you, but it is important to listen to. Can we all listen, please?
Okay. All right. So I am Kakis Mendoza, and I wanted to share my story that happened to me this most recent January 2026, on the 16th of January to be precise. That day, it was very early in the morning, and I was sleeping, and I noticed there was somebody walking around, and there wasn't a lot happening outside. There was some snow that had happened, so I had gotten up, taken a walk around the house, went back to bed, and then at 8 o'clock that morning, thereabouts, I don't know the exact time, about 8 o'clock, somebody came and touched my foot. They tapped me on my foot one time, and I was like, did somebody touch me? You know, I was still half asleep. I thought it might be my roommate, my friend, trying to joke around. So I ignored it. The second time they touched my foot, I ignored it again. The third time they touched my foot, but then on the fourth time, they finally gave some gusto, and I was kind of ticked. I was pissed off. So I got up, I looked at them, and I was terrified because it was an ICE agent in my bedroom, in my home. And that's when I got up. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am deaf. I don't even know what you're saying. I can't communicate with you. I was terrified. And I said, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do. They kept calling me. They said, get out here right now. And I saw there was a second, third, fourth, fifth, I don't know, 10 ICE agents. It was a group of them that came after me in my bedroom, in my home. And I told them, can I give you my paperwork? I have my paperwork. I'm a legal immigrant here. It's from the court. I have everything you need. And they did say okay, but I was terrified. So I opened my paperwork and I handed it to them. And they said, no, I think you have a weapon. I said, I don't have a weapon. I don't own a gun. I have nothing. I have no weapons. It's just paperwork I'm going to show you. That's all I'm going to show you. And that's when they started searching my room. They started searching my home. And then when I gave them the paperwork, they said, no, that's not good enough. And they threw the paperwork, so I couldn't even have access to it. I had the card, the red card. They said, nope, I'm not even going to bother looking at that again. And then they took my passport. They took my passport, my ID, and my work visa. And I'm from Nicaragua, and my ID and my residence I do have an ID still from Nicaragua as well. And so I said, can I at least brush my teeth before I have to go? And they said, yes, I guess. And then the other ICE agent grabbed me, another one grabbed my toothbrush. I was trying to sign to them, but they're hearing, they don't know what I was signing. And then they put me in cuffs and took away even my signing. And they brought me out and they put me in their car. There were 3 cars, by the way, 3 cars lined up outside my home. They arrested me. And I became more terrified than I can even explain. The most terrified I've been in my life. And I saw this big bus. It was like a red bus of some sort, and the door was open, and I didn't know where I was going, of course, and I didn't know if I was alone on the bus. I didn't know. I was terrified, and I had 0 information and 0 access. I couldn't sign. They didn't know sign. They didn't. I don't hear English. I had nothing. So I was sitting there waiting, my heart pounding, my hands cuffed, my access denied, and I was waiting for the police. And I asked them, can I text someone? Can I communicate with somebody? So they did give me my phone, and I texted to try and communicate, and I said, please do not kill me. And I showed them the text. And I have a card, I have my card, I have my proof. I tried. I have a child. I have a 5-year-old child. Please don't kill me, I said. That's what I texted, and they laughed. They laughed in my face. And I said, I was begging them. I begged them. I said, please don't kill me. That's all I could think to say, because that's all I was running through my mind every minute. And while I was waiting for 5 hours in what seemed like a Hannaford parking lot. They were going after other people to bring in the same vehicle as me, I believe. And then the bus was full. The bus vehicle was full. And they said we were going to Burlington. And that's where there was an ICE center, an ICE detention center. So they brought me to the center, and they brought me into the room, and I told the man, I am deaf. I don't know how else to explain this. I have zero way to communicate. There are no interpreters here, and I need an interpreter. And he said, no, you're lying. You're not even deaf. And I asked them again. I pleaded with them. I need an interpreter to at least know what's going on. And they said, no, get to your cell. And they left me there. I was beyond terrified for my life, for my family, everything. And I was trying desperately to be positive, to pray, to try and be positive thoughts. I was saying, please don't let them kill me, God, please. And then there was a wave through the vent, and somebody had passed me a piece of paper. And it said, what do you want? And I said, please give me a pen and paper. And they did. And I wrote on that paper, please get me an interpreter, a lawyer, something. I need a judge. I need to go to court. I need something where there's access, something in the legal system. At least they should have access. And they said, no, you have to wait. So I waited. I waited and waited. And I believe it was on the Thursday. Then there was Friday, nothing. Saturday, nothing. Still waiting. Sunday, over the weekend, waiting and waiting. And then Sunday I tried again. I said, please help me get a piece of paper and pen. And they continued to say no. They said no. And we were trying to sort of like gesture and move, trying to get messages to one another. But there was no actual communication going on. And then on Monday, I asked this woman who had come over, and I explained to her, I am a deaf person. I don't hear. I need to communicate. I need an interpreter or at least a pen and paper. And she said, oh, I understand what you mean, but we don't provide interpreters here. And they said, we do have, we have interpreters at some places, but not this one. And she said, I'll try and get you moved to Chicago because they have interpreters there. And I was like, okay, that seems like a lot more waiting and strange to me, but I was doing what I was told. So the next morning at about 11, they said they were going to put me on a flight to Chicago. And at that point, I was happy because at least if Chicago has interpreters, I have some access. But that didn't happen. And then Tuesday, that didn't happen. And then Wednesday, I said, whatever happened to, you told me I'd be on a flight, you told me I was going to Chicago, you told me there were interpreters in other places. And they said, oh no, we actually decided that you should just stay in your cell here. And I was like weak, I was tired, I was physically being impacted by this. I was hopeless, I was getting both physically and mentally, I was spiritually low, everything. I was in such a dark space. There was zero communication. And then ICE did tell me to come over here into this other room one time because you're sick. They noticed that I was sick. So they moved me to this other room. There was a separate bed with medication in that space. And it was a better bed at the very least. And they allowed me to shower and they allowed me food. So when I got there, I did feel grateful. I did. And this woman came and I said, finally, they've got an interpreter for me. But I was crying. At that point, I was grief-stricken. I was relieved. I was everything all at once. So it was very overwhelming to the point of tears. And I explained to her, I said, what had happened to me, and I asked what is happening to me. And I said I was just taken from my bed in the morning, and the interpreter said, no, that's not right. She said, that's not right. And she said, we can help you. We'll call and get you another interpreter and a legal access to legal support. So I waited and I waited, and then after that, I did a Zoom court session with an interpreter. That was good. And we discussed everything at that point. And they asked me, are you scared where you are? And I said, absolutely, yes. And they asked, did anybody hit you? Did anybody abuse you? And I said, not physical abuse. No, they did not beat me up or anything of that nature. And they kept asking, they wanted to make sure that I wasn't physically abused in that way, like beat up. And the judge said that I was okay to leave and go back home. So I was beyond relieved after that one Zoom session. Thankfully, thank God, that was a 7-day that I had been detained, 7 days. And with zero communication, I repeat, zero communication. And I was working so hard to try and advocate for my rights, but it's additionally hard when you can't communicate. And, you know, my cellmates were kind enough, but they couldn't help me. They didn't care. I was deaf. I was very invisible. And they had been told that I was lying about being deaf, so there was even some strain there. I tried my best to stay positive through it all, hoping and knowing that I could get back home. And then when they finally said that, I just felt like I was so blessed that God had blessed me with being able to go back home. And then after that, I thought everything would be good, but I couldn't sleep when I was back home. I was so terrified they would come back, and I would wake up to them at my bed. For 2 months, I didn't sleep. And then on the 3rd month, I did start to feel a little better. I could finally sleep, at least some. I got some legal support. I went to court. I had interpreters, and it was possible for me to process more with access to what was going on. So I just felt like I wanted to share my experience, my firsthand experience. I was taken from my bed in the morning from my home. Thank you. And I also wanted to tell everyone here, everyone who showed up today, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you all. It's touching. It's so touching. I appreciate it. We need to abolish ICE. We need to do better. We're better off without them. We're better off without them. And it's important to keep our neighbors safe. Thank you all. Thank you. Here's how you sign Fuck ICE, for those asking.
All right, everybody, if you're just tuning in, we're live here in Monument Square in Portland, Maine.
From ICE, terrorizing another neighbor, another parent in our community. Now, in January, during so-called Operation Catch of the Day, we all took to the streets to demand that ICE get out of our community. It was in the single digits. It was cold. Today it's raining. Our signs are melting. But what we have is our voices. And we've got 2 more speakers, and then we're going to march. We're going to take to the streets, and we're going to make sure our voices are heard. So before we do that, I want everyone to keep up the energy. We have 2 more speakers, and then be ready to go. We're not going to let the rain stop us. First, we're going to hear from Rachel from Activate Maine. Give it up for Rachel.
All right, fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! I want you guys to understand that when you decided to come out here today and said, I'll go to Monument Square and I'll protest, you got to do that because you were white. You got to do that because you were safe. You are here because people people cannot be. You have a responsibility to show up not just for your anger, but for other people's fear. You stand strong because we support people who are immigrants and we love them. ICE doesn't just affect, Johan, this death is so horrible. And I have been working with Project Relief, these wonderful influencers who are here, because Johan's roommate reached out. He was terrified. And he couldn't move, he couldn't go anywhere, he didn't want to leave the house. He has a wife, a toddler, and a baby. And I want you to understand first that this statement was before we were able to get him to safety. I can't open it now, okay. We have him, thanks to the influencers, raising money. He is now at a hotel safe. He's looking for a place to live right now. And these influencers have raised rent and a deposit for him, but he's terrified to work. So this is his statement before he got out of his apartment. But we have to speak for him because he can't speak. There are people outside my house. I fear for the safety of my family since I'm connected to my friend Johan. I no longer feel safe staying here. I have a wife and children, and my only priority right now is to protect them. We urgently need to leave our apartment as soon as possible and move to a safe place. I'm gonna cry. Unfortunately, I don't have the financial resources to move on my own. I'm asking the community for help during this difficult time. Any support for emergency housing and relocation would make an immediate difference and help keep my family safe. The fear ICE has just put into people who were sleeping. Again, shame! 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 Thank you. Here is what you can do. We leave here with energy. Organizers like us have been doing this for 18 fucking months.
Yeah!
And I want to tell you something, we're tired. Every protest you go to are organizers putting that together. Are people who are paying out of their own pocket for permits. Things like that. You want to know what you can do? Volunteer. You want to know what you can do? Reach out to organizations who are already doing the work. Take your rage and make it action. Sounds like a commercial, it's not. Activate Maine has a list of 150 Maine organizations. Pick a skill you have. Pick something you enjoy. Call them up and say, hey, what do you need? I'm fucking pissed. If you can't do that, donate. There are plenty of actions on the website to do from home. 5 calls. Make a call a day. Tell Collins to fuck off. What do we say to Collins? What do we say to Collins? That's right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rachel. We've been organizing. Are we going to stop? Are we going to stop?
organizing with in the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Give it up for Lucas and get ready to march. We're going to take to the streets. Thanks, Lucas.
What's up, Portland? My name is Lucas Bent, and I'm an organizer with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. We all know why we're here today. We're here to demand justice for Johan Sebastian Duran Guerrero and the over 20 other workers and community members killed in cold blood by ICE this year. On Monday, we lost a beloved father, husband, and community member, Johan. He was murdered by racist, killer ICE agents in Biddeford. Since then, masses of us, masses of people throughout the state have taken to the streets to demand ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine!
ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine! ICE out of Maine!
The ICE agents that killed Johan said that they shot him because they were quote-unquote afraid for public safety. They shot him on a residential street 2 feet away from his own 3-year-old daughter. These mass killers are here to terrorize our communities. While talking to community members about the murder of Johan, we've spoken to families who are afraid to go outside. We've spoken to workers who have to work double shifts because their co-workers were abducted. We've spoken to parents who drive another family's kids to school because half their neighbors can't go outside. ICE is here to inflict terror on our community and on everyone in it. That's why we demand nothing less than abolish ICE, full legal rights for all immigrants. Since Monday, ICE thugs have sadly continued their racist reign of terror. Just 4 days ago, a man in Florida was struck and killed by a tractor trailer while fleeing from ICE agents who were actively chasing him. Shame! Just last night, an ICE detention center employee shot a woman protesting outside of an ICE detention center in Aurora, Colorado. She's in the hospital right now. Shame! And just hours ago today, a man was found unresponsive in ICE detention in Georgia, murdered by ICE medical neglect. It should be clear to all of us by now that ICE is a terror organization operating on behalf of the fascist state. It is clear that we need to keep fighting. We need to keep looking out for our neighbors. That's what I'll be talking about today. And looking out at all of you this afternoon, I think that we can do it. Are we ready to keep fighting? Yeah! Are we ready to keep fighting? Yeah! We need to get Susan Collins out of office. But we also need to recognize that no politician will save us. ICE brutality has gotten far worse under the Trump administration, but make no mistake, under every administration, it's always been abolish ICE. Of course, they'll try to say that abolishing ICE is simply too big of a demand, that we can't just abolish a whole government agency. Johan was already 3 years old by the time that ICE was even formed. Reform is not enough. We need change at the system level. So we can't count on politicians to save us. That's why what comes next, what comes after today, is the most crucial point in our struggle so far. ICE would love for this rally here to be the peak of the people's struggle here in Maine right now. For this energy to fizzle out,
for us to reluctantly return to the nightmare that is the status quo. We can't afford to let that happen. Our community can't afford it. Are we going to stop fighting? No! Are we going to stop fighting? No! ICE would love to scare us into silence. It's about time that we make them scared. And what makes them scared is that the people united will never be defeated. 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 Not gonna lie, my phone just stopped working because of the rain. Yep. Next steps, we need to keep fighting. At 4:30 p.m. at the Equality Community Center on Tuesday, just down the block over there, we're having a community organizing meeting to keep this movement going, the movement for legal rights for all immigrants, the movement to abolish ICE, and the movement to end this racist system for good. Thank you, let's march!
Thank you, Lucas! Are we gonna let this fizzle out? No! Are we ready to march? Yeah! Are we ready to march? Yeah! Are we ready to take to the streets? Yeah! Join me and head towards City Hall down Congress. Let's go, Maine! Woo!
Your friend Zach wants you to have some socks.
What do we want? ICE out! When do we want it? Now! What do we want?
He's a ship out.
When do we want it? Now!
All right, guys. So again, we're live here in Monument Square here in Portland, Maine, as protests continue. Okay, the protest is about to take off into a march, and they're heading towards government building, and it sounds like Congress. Okay, so we're taking off here. I'm going to be behind John. Again, guys, support us on the ground here. Support our work on the ground. What up, bud? statuscoup.com/join for as low as $5 a month. You guys can continue to support me and John standing here in the march, in the rain, in the elements, in the extreme cold, in the extreme heat.
My back.
I got you.
My back.
Okay.
No peace, no ICE in our streets. No justice, no peace. No ICE in our streets.
Go ahead.
No justice, no peace. No ICE in our streets. No justice, no peace. No ICE in our streets. No justice, no peace. Get ICE off our streets. No justice, no peace. Get ICE off our streets. No justice, no peace. Get ICE off our streets. No justice, no peace. Get ICE off our streets. No justice, no peace. Get ICE off our streets. No justice, no peace. Get ICE off our streets. No justice, no peace. Get ICE off our streets. No justice, no peace. Get ICE off our streets. No justice, no peace. Get ICE off our streets. No justice, no peace. Get ICE off our streets. No justice, no peace. Get ICE off our streets. No justice, no peace.
Got a fire truck go by there, chat. As you guys can see, the protest is now trying to stop emergency vehicles from carrying out their duties. It never has been. So guys, we're live here in Portland, Maine, as the protest has taken off into a march heading towards City Hall and the local government. First of all, introduce yourself.
My name is Dale Knight, and I'm a resident of Portland, Maine, and a resident of the United States.
So you're a resident here?
Yes.
So what are your thoughts of everything going on?
Well, I'm sick and tired of the old adage of old men make decisions and young people die. And I'm sick and tired of seeing people murdered in the street. I'm former law enforcement, and I know what a legal stop is and what you should do. And that is not the way that you proceed.
And plus, it makes the cops and law enforcement that are doing the right thing, that actually are trying to look out for the community. I mean,
I was in the sheriff's department, and I quit a week after I was told to lie and not report an issue that happened at the jail where the sheriff had an inmate taken out and beaten. So I had worked my whole life to stay, out of trouble, never been arrested, always followed the law and loved it. But these people, they think that they can just make things up. And I know a lot of DHS agents, and I thought they were decent, but I'll tell you something, it needs to be dissolved.
Definitely, because so much funding goes into that, and they're not getting even half the training you did to become a law enforcement. They're just being given.
Absolutely.
Talk about that.
And look at the vetting that went on with the latest shooting in Biddeford. I mean, that man never should have ever been allowed to work for any law enforcement agency, period.
We're going to go that way. So you were talking about, the training and how low training they get and how much money they're getting, too, for this lack of training, and then they can carry out whatever they want in the streets.
Absolutely. And another thing, in this day and age, you wear body cameras. Now, when they don't wear a body camera, that tells me that they're going to do illegal moves, let's say.
Yeah, because that's a layer of accountability that we expect. Because, even for law enforcement, right? Because law enforcement, you need that, in case something bad happens to you or whatever, that's evidence.
Absolutely. Proof is proof. And film does not lie. And we need to set new laws. We need to make new policies. We need to do different training. This is the United States. It has plenty of resources. And yet we've got some of the most antiquated techniques in law enforcement.
It's just absolutely outdated. And plus all that money that's going to foreign wars. And then, that same money is just fueling right back into our, the police state that we kind of have.
That's right. And like I said, the old adage of old men make decisions and young people die. And I think we're all sick and tired of that. Because my brother was in Vietnam, and that was a ridiculous police action that we should not have been involved in. He came back, but he was pretty much dead.
It's similar to how I hear from War on Terror veterans. Now we're calling ourselves forever war veterans, because we're just getting sent to the Middle East, and it's just and then now we're, my brothers and sisters are being killed now because of this war in Iran. And it's when does it all end,
Well, you take racism. What the hell? This is 2026, and we're racist. That our brothers and sisters, we all bleed red. I'm part Native American. I have European blood. We're all a mix, and I think there's a lot of people that'd be surprised if they had their ancestry done, and maybe they should.
And that's what we've heard, is this racism and this hatred that we hear from MAGA types or ICE supporters, and it's indecent. It's not normal people don't act like that.
Right. Well, I have no tolerance for people like that. I don't try to explain to them any issues, because there's no explaining or getting them to see common sense. It's ingrained in them that they're racist or they just love to hurt people. I don't know what it is, but it's ingrained in them.
Exactly, and then it's they're just wired like that, and they're fueled by hate. And when Donald Trump and the administration is justifying these murders and this hatred, it fuels them too.
Right, absolutely. There's a very wise, I think his name is Rabbi Friedman, I believe, and he mentioned that we haven't learned a thing about being human beings since the Garden of Eden, and he's absolutely correct.
Where do you think we go from here? What do you want to see? What do you hope that this protest here is going to accomplish for the overall picture?
I hope that it wakes people up, that, there's a lot of people sitting home today. This is your future. Yeah. This is freedom. This is the amendments. You need to get out, and you need to really start doing something, because it's just totally ridiculous. Downtown should be full. Yeah. It should be. You take protests overseas, you see boulevards full of people. Yeah. And what do we do here? Because we're so, we've been lulled into a false sense of security where we just, somebody else will handle it.
Police car behind you. They might be blocking traffic. So yeah, I mean, it's all connected to each other. It's all, and hopefully, what are you hoping for the elections coming up?
I hope that there's not a Republican that's in office. I know that that's wishful thinking, but they've proven themselves that they cannot be trusted with power, because look at what's happened.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous. We need, and I'm going to be after the Democrats. I'm a registered Democrat, never voted a straight ticket, always for who I thought was the best candidate. But you know something, I'm going to be all over my party to get different laws, and this cannot happen again. Exactly. This cannot happen again. Absolutely. And I mean, we'll be lucky if we survive this one.
Thank you so much for your time, buddy. One more time, your name, sir?
Being here, and what's that?
What's your name, sir? One more time?
Oh, Dale Knight.
Dale. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Yep. Thank you. Hey guys, we just heard from Dale. He's a resident. He's hoping for more people to come out to protest. This is a larger protest that we've seen out here, but he's saying, especially in Minneapolis during Operation Metro Surge, and back in 2020 during the Black Lives Matter movement, we saw protests that took up entire cities. And this situation that we're in with Trump hasn't gotten better. It certainly has not gotten better to where we can just sit down and do nothing. So if you haven't protested now in a while and you used to, get off the couch. Get out into the streets. I don't know what else to tell you. This is a serious problem, and without, multiple people's voices being heard and you guys taking to the streets, or, we're doing independent journalism. Appreciate you guys for supporting that. But, without the numbers of people that will come out, who's going to do it? Okay, who's really going to do it? Guys, we are live here in Portland, Maine. You guys can see the protest in the camera feed. You got hundreds and hundreds of people here in the rain. It is cold. It's been a hot week here in Maine, after the killing of Johann Sebastian Guerrero, 25-year-old Colombian national, who David Broylette, 37-year-old Maine resident, killed in cold blood on Monday. So this is Saturday. Protests continue throughout the whole week, no matter rain or shine. And again, this protest is on its way towards the City Hall in the government buildings inside of Portland, Maine.
didn't know he was.
Yeah, I didn't see you in there. We didn't even know you were in there. Again, guys, if you're just joining us, we're live on the ground here in Portland, Maine, after 25-year-old Columbia national Johann Sebastian Guerrero was killed in cold blood by 37-year-old David Broylette, who is a Maine resident, abuser, absolute scum of the earth. We got some reporting from Jordan from Status Coup News in the background, who actually got this from Jolly Good Ginger's interview with the ex-wife of David Broylette, and I'm just going to read a couple of those notes. ICE agent who killed Johann, the ex-wife, said he was diagnosed with manic bipolar at the age of 12 and withheld that info to get into the military. A psychiatrist said he displayed traits of borderline schizophrenia. Okay, again, this was directly from the ex-wife that Jolly Good Ginger did an interview with this morning. And also Adam Cry did an interview with the wife on adam.cry on Instagram. His ex also said he pulled a gun on her during their marriage. His former fire chief called him erratic and didn't like authority. Okay, again, this is the 37-year-old David Broylette who murdered Johann Sebastian Guerrero, who was serving in ICE. This is his lack of character. He told he was in hiding and protective custody, and she learned he changed his phone number. Okay, so this guy is an absolute all-around toxic abuser. I know, I'm sure many in the chat, women have dealt with this situation before. And just think, would you want this type of person to have a gun, to have a mask, to have body armor, and to be able to go in our city streets and murder our neighbors? It's truly pathetic. America is at the lowest point that we could be at right now with what's going on. He was an absolutely garbage human being. And then when we're not putting these types of people where they should be, like in prison, and they're not facing accountability, then this is what happens. Okay, this is the response. Because they're going to keep murdering people, and you're just going to keep pissing more and more people off. You're just going to keep pissing more and more people off. And as you guys can hear, even non-hyper-political individuals, like here in Maine, are fed up. Okay, you don't have to be hyper-political to know that this was wrong. You don't have to be all up into the politics of it. You don't have to know everything to know that this was absolutely wrong. But it's not the first time, and it won't be the last time. You got Brick. Watch out. Again, guys, continue to support our work. It is pouring rain right now. Pouring rain, guys, here in Portland, Maine. And we have been on the ground all week here in Maine. We've been on the ground covering this story of ICE terror across the United States and the protest response since last year, going to last year across the country, from California to Minnesota to Chicago, Illinois. You know, you got Louisiana, South Carolina, Maine, New York, New Jersey. I mean, and we're not done. Okay, I'm just going to tell you guys that now. We are not done, regardless. But this federal government is not slowing down. So, guys, support independent media. Continue to support us here on the ground. Keep us on the ground, you guys. We cannot do this without you. Statuscoup.com/join. Statuscoup.com/join. For as low as $5 a month, you guys can continue to support our coverage of ongoing protests. Become a member, become a supporter, like the video, subscribe to the channel, whatever you guys could do. But we really, really could use the low as $5 a month to keep us on the ground here, whether it's in Maine or whether it's in the next city.
Oh man, appreciate that.
One of the only few people I pay attention to.
Oh hell yeah, man. Appreciate that.
Check soon.
Oh yeah, buddy.
You're the only one doing the work.
Hell yeah, buddy. Thank you so much.
You guys the other day.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. What up? Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Same thing. I said you guys are the only ones showing up.
Yeah, man. Consistent. I mean,
one of the only.
Yeah, one of the few. And some of the
media.
Some of the ones that do lie about it.
You gotta go after me fire.
I have been. I mean, every day I've been at them every day.
Oh yeah, Maine Wire sucks. Dog shit media. All right, bye guys.
No justice, no peace, no life.
You guys can hear it. The people of Maine really appreciate Status Coup News for being here. They have, another media platform out here, the Maine Liar, who comes out and calls protesters terrorists, does ride-alongs with ICE, and is just all-around degenerate media, more acting like Reddit trolls than they do actual journalism. So a lot of the people here in this protest is not trustworthy of media, but I feel this past week me and John have earned the trust of the community. We've been out here being honest, just letting the people tell the story. We interview, we'll ask them a question, but hey, the people here can answer the questions themselves. They don't need lies told about their protest. They don't need to be called fucking terrorists for just using their First Amendment rights. Okay? And that's what we hear from a lot of mainstream media, right-wing media, and others that come out to these protests to cover them. And then that feeds into the propaganda machine that exists on the right, but also it exists in the establishment, and that can also affect some people that are, a Democrat. Okay, and I've seen it, but obviously heavily right-wing. So it's important to get the truth about these protests. They are regular people using their voice to call power into account. Okay, regular people out here to call power accountable, demand transparency for the continued killings that this federal government is doing during these mass deportations. Status Coup News.
Sure.
Yeah. Just tell us what you guys are doing. First of all, what's your name?
It's Alexis.
Alexis.
Dima.
Nice. What are you guys doing out here?
What does it look like? We're fighting for our cause. I thought Maine was going to be a state that didn't put up with this shit, and here we go. We have 2 deaths already here. Never mind the 10 that we've had nationwide, and all of the kids and children that are dying in detainment centers, the rapes, the tortures that is going on, people not having access to health care. I'm type 1 diabetic. I'm very passionate about everyone's rights. Everyone needs rights. Everyone needs to feel safe in their community, and that's not what's happening. This isn't making anything better, definitely not America.
No, especially with how much money we're putting into foreign wars across, the Middle East. We have no money for healthcare, but we have money for ICE agents to be able to do whatever the hell they want.
Exactly, and it's heartbreaking. And this is, seeing the community like this is so heartwarming, but heartbreaking at the same time, that this is what we come together for, and not for other things, Like, these are the battles we have to fight right now, and there's bigger things to do.
Did you ever think that this ICE terror that we've seen, in Minneapolis or in Chicago and LA, did you ever think it would come here to where you live?
No, honestly, no, not this close. I thought, you can see the amount of people out here. Maine doesn't stand for this type of stuff. We've always been very pro-rights, very just standing with our community, and yeah.
What is something that you want people to know about Maine?
Sure, yeah. Sorry, I'm diabetic. My sugar might be dropping a little bit from all the yelling and screaming.
Oh, no.
I'm
no
good,
problem.
though.
No problem.
Repeat the question, I'm sorry.
What do you want people to know about your community here? Because we're here for covering a tragedy. We're not here on a regular basis.
Exactly. That we're going to keep fighting this. And even though there are people online, and you may see people on the streets saying that they want ICE, that, get rid of all the immigrants, that's not what we stand for, not here. And we're very blessed to have a community that has been built by everyone from all over the world. No one is illegal on stolen land. No one should be dying. Everything that's happening is genocide and war crimes. It's
and it's all connected, because then these ICE agents are trained by those same, like the IDF, for example, in Israel. And then that comes back home here, and then we have to face it here in the streets.
The fact that they think they can get away with it and call their ex-wives, who they've been harassing, stalking, and abusing for who knows how long, and terrifying the woman so much, thinking that he can scare her into giving a false witness statement for him. It's not okay.
And then when you have ICE agents, many of us already feel that these ICE agents are like untrained, unhinged, domestic abuse.
That's what they want. That's what they want. Those are the type of people. They want people who will go haywire around guns, people who are mentally ill. That's why we haven't been fighting guns. They're crucial for terrorizing a nation. They want us to stay divided. That's what they need. The people need to come together like they are here and fight. There's power in unison, and that's all there is to it.
Do you think, so the election's coming up, are you going to be participating in it?
I do, yes, I plan on it.
Do you feel that elections alone will solve this problem, or do you feel it's going to be more than that?
I'm honestly not sure. I mean, with all the claims of election fraud, I don't think I think we have more control than they want us to think, but I think that they're going to keep trying to take it away from us in every way possible.
Exactly, especially like when it's an us versus them, right? It's a class war, the elites versus the rest of us. It's not really a left or right thing, it's the corporations.
When you have donors like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos supporting you, and you have all this money, what is in our hands anymore? What can we do to stop this? It feels like nothing.
Well, you're definitely doing something, right? So it's important to be protesting or using your voice.
I appreciate it. I try to go out when I can and show up for my community in every way that I can. I mean, obviously, there's many more things that I and everyone else can do, and I really urge anyone to just research what's going on, reach out for support if you need it, help those in need, donate what you can, if you can, to people. There's Project Maine Relief. They help out a lot with legal support, and They talk a lot about people who have been detained, citizens, and look into what's going on at the detainment centers. It's scary.
Absolutely.
We stopped calling them detention centers. They're camps. They are prison camps.
Prison camps. There we go. Okay, thank you.
So,
well, torture camps.
Torture camps. That's a perfect word. Concentration camps. Yeah. I mean, when you're tearing families apart like that, it's not about keeping people safe, not about keeping the country safe. It's never been about that. And that's a weak argument at this point.
It seriously is. Thank you so much for your time. What's your name one more time?
It's Alexis.
Alexis. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey guys, you just heard from Alexis.
Yes. Yeah. I just want to say, you guys, I love you. During the Minneapolis coverage.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy you guys.
Oh man, appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that.
You're just from,
I'm from Minneapolis, so yeah, I'm from there. Oh yeah. They're like, okay, what type of media are you? But it's like right there, though. It's like, you know, it is what it is. Thank you. Okay, great show.
United, we'll never be defeated. The people, united, will never be defeated. The people, united, will never be defeated. The people, united, will never be defeated.
Do what I can. What you can do, right? Keep doing it.
Hey guys, do not forget, sign up as a member. We cannot do this without your support. Sign up as a member now, statuscoup.com/join for as low as $5 a month, 16 cents a day. Cancel some subscription you got. Don't get coffee for one day out of the month. Spend it on us being here on the ground with the people, giving them the microphone so you could hear from them. All right, there are no other outlets, networks marching with the people here. All right, it's just us out here in the ring with the people. So again, statuscoup.com/join. Isn't.
All right, guys, I was back. I was talking to a couple protesters who were appreciating me and John's coverage and wanted to tell us that they just appreciate it. So again, like John said, please continue to support us on the ground. We're out here in the middle of this protest, getting rained on. We're in Portland, Maine. We've been to Portland, Oregon. We've been to Los Angeles, Minneapolis, Chicago, and beyond, guys. We've been on the ground covering this story for well over a year, and we will continue to wherever it goes. And I hope it does stop eventually, but right now under this government and this federal government, it doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon. Certainly not before Trump's term. Guys, make sure you hit the like button on the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're just tuning in. Put a comment. I have a couple of minutes here. I'm going to read some comments in the feeds. Any questions you guys might have, I'll shout you out. Put what city, what state, where in the world you guys are watching from. Sorry, bro.
Can you ask her if they're going back to the Monument Square?
We got Nashville, Maryland, Oklahoma. We got Minnesota tuned in. Troll Slayer 007 Mod over there on Status Coup News. I see ya. Watertown, New York, Mike Strukin. We got England tuned in. Texas, Feathered Life said Minnesota, same. We got Alley 3000 from California, Haverhill, Massachusetts. We got a lot of Maine tuned in. I see a Maine. We got Maryland, Maine, New York, New Hampshire, Indiana, St. Cloud, Minnesota. What up, Oregon? We got Grand Junction, Colorado, Yakima, California. What up, Tennessee? People are tuned in from all around the world in the chat. Thank you for supporting independent media. We're gonna get a lens clear here for you guys. It's been pouring rain out here, guys. It's starting to let up a little bit. Some sprinkles. We're gonna get some lens clarity for y'all. Hello, Springfield, Oregon. Hello. We got Vermont. I hope all of our fans and supporters in Canada are doing okay. Northern Minnesota, the devastating wildfires that have been taking place. I got you. You're back. I got you. If you guys just tuning in, just joining us here live on Status Coup News and Mercado Media, me and John Farina are out here live in Portland, Maine, covering ongoing protests. You guys can hear it.
Go get the bear guy.
How much Status Coup News? Well, first of all, can we see your sign? So it says, "This bear cares. Abolish ICE, replace Collins, impeach Trump, stand up to fascist cowards. Our neighbor needs you." Why are you a Care Bear?
Well, I think part of it for me is demonstrating both that this is important, that this matters, but also that it doesn't have to be something terribly scary. You're allowed to show up, you're allowed to be part of it and find joy in it, even as it's a struggle, even as it's frightening and frustrating. I also think it matters to demonstrate, especially with someone who looks like me, I'm a safe person, you can trust me, I'll stand in front of you, you can stand behind me and I'll protect you. I want to balance that showing up with being fearful and demonstrating like, hey, we're all part of the same system. Our neighbor got shot down in the street. We got to do something about it.
Exactly, especially because the Trump administration is intimidating people to show up and use their voice.
Yes, absolutely. There's a certain element of like, hey man, ICE look to me like a bunch of fascist cosplayers, so why can't I show up and make them look as ridiculous as they really are?
Exactly.
Can we call you Bear Tifa?
Bear Tifa?
Yeah, whatever works, man. I'm workshopping nicknames. I sort of like Big Rig the Bear. I think Smokey, you gotta find something. You gotta find something catchy.
Exactly. You're from here in Portland?
Yeah, I'm from Buxton. It's a couple towns over.
So, I mean, have you been out here the whole time since Catch of the Day or even last year?
Yeah, I've been, this has sort of become my action uniform for political action, my Antifa uniform. And, it's a place where I think when you live in Maine, you start to take for granted that, like, hey, this is a quiet corner of the world where nothing serious happens. And then I found myself at home thinking, man, if this happens in our backyard and I can't show up, what am I doing, right? When am I going to show up? So I started to show up in January. I've been showing up ever since.
Wow. January of this year?
Yep.
Did you ever think this ICE terror that me and John have covered from city to city, we've been in Minneapolis, Chicago, LA, would you ever think it was going to come here to your corner of...
No, I know, you look like me, you take your privilege for granted, you start to get relaxed, you start to get comfortable. Obviously, when Trump got elected, I knew things were going to get bad, but you start to think, well, sure, big cities like New York or somewhere in California, crazy stuff is going to happen, but who cares about Portland, Maine? Nobody, right? It's just us. We're a tiny little town in one of the smallest populations of states in the entire union. We're the guy that he wants to come pick on, right? Because we should be easy. So you got to show up in a moment like now and be like, hey man, we're not going to be easy. We're going to stand by our neighbors.
Exactly. Now, your sign, it can be read for protesters, but it also seems like a message to politicians.
Yeah. There's a certain element of like, as important as it is to be here with all of these folks who I'm proud to stand next to, there are lots of people at home, there are lots of people in Congress who aren't doing anything, who are taking this for granted, who are hoping at best that it's going to pass and at worst that it's going to benefit them, and I can't stand that, right? If you can't stand up now, you're just going to be next on the list.
Exactly. Do you feel this issue can just be simply voted out? I feel like voting is important, right? We got to engage with it, but do you feel like it's just that's it? That's all we have to...
No, I think fundamentally the system has to change, right? I'm a big believer in the power of voting and the power of democracy, but I'm also I want to be mature enough to recognize that, like, hey man, there's a lot of stuff that's ingrained in these systems. It really doesn't matter who you put in place. It doesn't matter who you pick. At the end of the day, we've got to tear it all out by the roots and grow something new in this garden.
Especially because, like, in this country, I feel, and let's see how you feel, but I don't think it's a left versus right. It's more of like an elite and like the corporations and the people that control versus the rest of us.
Absolutely. It's one of those things where, I love the signs that say they make you mad at the immigrants so you don't notice the billionaires, right? It's all about that elite group of people on either side of the aisle who benefit from situations like this, who want to get donations from corporations and super PACs, and leave folks like me, folks like the average everyday Mainer, out in the cold, literally when the wintertime rolls around, right? Like, fuck gas prices, how are we going to heat our homes in the winter? And meanwhile, we're busy talking about, like, what color the pool is in Washington, D.C. It's ridiculous.
Yes, and I mean, I was feeling that because we went to Delaney Hall in New Jersey, where we feel it's a concentration camp.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where, again, when you're in high school and you start thinking, like, man, I can't believe somebody let this happen, right? Like, why did nobody stand up back then? When you look at Germany or you look at the Japanese intern camps, and then all of a sudden you wake up one morning and it's like, shit, it's happening all over again. This is how it happens. People take it for granted. They ignore it. They pretend it's not happening. I can't control everybody, but I can control me, and I'm sure not going to be one of the people who's ignoring it.
Exactly. It feels like a faraway issue until it comes home, right?
Yeah, right. It's easy to take for granted, right? It's easy to pretend. It's easy to be like, well, that sucks, and I don't agree with it, but it doesn't affect me. You know what? It turns out it affects all of us. At the end of the day, we all live in the same world.
Absolutely. What are you hoping the takeaway is from this protest? I know you say you go to them often, but today's a National Day of Action. ICE just murdered Johann Sebastian Guerrero on Monday here in this community. What are you hoping the takeaway is from this protest?
I really want to demonstrate to, the fascist Trump administration and anybody else on their side, it's never going to be easy to take away our rights. It's never going to be easy to kill our neighbors. We're never going to let these tragedies go. We're going to stand up. We're going to fight back. And at the end of the day, we're going to use, every tool at our disposal. Voting is important. Protesting is important. Organizing is important. All of those things are going to happen, right? I hope if anything comes out of today, it's energizing, right? It makes people think, this was great, what do I do next? Who can I call? What organization can I donate to? How do I give my time? I think that's what matters.
Absolutely. And then I've been asking everybody that's an actual local here, what do you want people to know about your community in Maine? Like, we're here covering a tragedy, but, you know, I don't think this is representative, and like ICE agents murdering people here, you know, like it's representative of what they're doing on the country, but speak about this community here. Like, tell us about it.
I think there's something special about Maine. Even having grown up, I grew up in what we call Down East Maine, which is really redneck, it's really right-leaning, but at the end of the day, even the most conservative of folks that I grew up around were like, well, fuck, I like my neighbor, right? I really don't care what color he is. I care whether or not he gets his job done, and I care whether or not he's nice and he takes care of his kids. I think that's true all around our state. At the end of the day, even the people who might espouse the most horrible rhetoric, there's something that can be reached inside of them, right? At the end of the day, when they hear about the truth of these tragedies, they're like, man, this is a parent, this is a guy who is here legally trying to build in the American dream and do the right thing by himself and by his family and by his community. I think that touches everyone. I think it's easy to see a lot of loud, vocal, ignorant people who represent a very small minority of our state. I think the thing to notice is that, man, there's not a lot of us, and we still all showed up here today, right? There are a lot of people who care. There are a lot of people who don't think this is okay. There are a lot of people who want to make it better.
Exactly, especially when we're seeing with the crowd size now. Where are we standing right now? Like, why are we here?
So this is, I believe this is right outside of Susan Collins' office here in Portland, at least one of them. She's never here. She never makes her face shown to the people who she represents. But this is sort of a meaningful and symbolic place to occupy and say, hey, Susan, we are the people that you're meant to represent. We're the people that you're meant to serve. You've been failing us over and over again, and it's never been worse than right now, right? One of our own community was gunned down, and the best that you can say is, ah, shucks, that seems like a problem. That's ridiculous. That's not enough a million times over.
Now we started this interview with like not being afraid to show up, but what is your message to the people watching at home that, you know, they want to protest or they want to be out here, but they might be a little intimidated by the Trump administration? You know, what is your message to them?
For sure. Number one, listen, man, if I can show up, I'm a 300-pound white guy in a bear suit. It can't be that scary. And number two, show up in the ways that you can show up, right? If you don't have the time, if you don't have the space to stand out here in the rain, you can donate, you can make phone calls, you can go knock on your neighbor's door and make sure they're taken care of. There are people all over the place that need help, and people needing help and feeling apathetic and feeling stuck and being angry. That's how we got into this situation in the first place. If we can't change that, we're never going to change this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. One more time, name?
My name's Jeff Servidus from Buxton.
Jeff from Buxton. Thank you so much. Bear Tifa. Bear Tifa.
Take care.
Hey, everybody. All right, guys, so we're live outside here of Susan Collins' office.
Down with deportation. Up with liberation. Down with deportation. Down with deportation. Up with liberation. Down with deportation. Down with deportation. ECC! Now you remember it because you had that laugh. So we can keep building the movement! So we don't stop until ICE is abolished! Until we went
Chief Nursing Officer of Maine Health, Devin Carr, responded to Maine State Nurses Association rebuffing our shared demand that they cancel their contract with Palantir. A few hours later, ICE agents murdered innocent 26-year-old man in Biddeford, Maine, in front of his wife and 3-year-old daughter. ICE is powered by Palantir. Fuck Palantir! Palantir! Saya, the rain has also messed with my cell phones. ICE and Palantir have Johann Sebastian Guerrero's blood on their hands. And it is disgraceful that Maine Health executives are collaborating with Palantir while hiding the terms of the... Thank you. This is what community looks like! While hiding the terms of the contract under a veil of secrecy. Shame! The citizens of Maine will not stop Maine until Maine Health has canceled its contract with Palantir! Mainers are taking back our power from big tech, corrupt government politicians, and healthcare executives that bleed hospitals dry while they close our maternity centers and understaff our hospitals. Join us and our many community allies for a press conference and rally at Maine Medical Center campus on the Western Promenade at 12 p.m. on Thursday, July 23rd. We are just getting started. No futures built on blood. No future built on blood. There is no future built on blood.
All right. So where am I going to see you on July 21st? At what time? I said, where am I going to see you on July 21st? At what time? 4:30. Fuck ICE! 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 Keep the movement moving! Let's continue propelled until we're all free, until ICE is abolished, until we have free, full legal rights for all immigrants. Thank you all for coming out, and let's keep going!
Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, if you want to wrap it up.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. It's raining. All right, guys. So that concludes today's National Day of Protest here in Portland, Maine. Just finished outside of Susan Collins' office. The protest started in Monument Square. We heard various speakers. We heard, chants, so people with signs. There was one counter-protester, one and a half, that didn't have an effect at all, okay? All right, so people were worried about that. They're really never anything to worry about. You guys can clearly see, me and John have been covering these. You can go ahead. No, you can go ahead. me and John have been covering these protests and then people that will counter-protest them. And oftentimes there's a massive amount of protesters and then like 1 or 2 counter-protesters. And that's how it always is. So their voice is loud online, you guys. It truly is. And I know it can. I love that shirt. Heck yeah, buddy. Yeah, Echo Romeo has a shirt that says "Oligargle my balls" for the oligarchy. So, all right, guys. So, hey, me and John from Status Coup, we've been live out here on the ground all week. From the moment that we heard that Johann Sebastian Guerrero was killed Monday night, I called John, I called Jordan, and I was like, "Hey, I'm going," and they're like, "Okay." And now here we are, guys, because that's what we do. We're live on the ground. Status Coup News has been telling this story from the moment Trump took office, but we've been live on the ground covering this ICE story the whole time, you guys. The very first ICE raids, the very first, detention facilities, the concentration camps. We're outside of them, you guys. We're out there. We're getting tear gas. We're getting flashbanged, and we're going to keep telling the story, you guys. So again, please support independent media for as low as $5 a month. StatusQNews.com/join. Yeah, statuscoup.com. Oh, without the news. Statuscoup.com/join, you guys. As low as $5 a month, you guys can keep us on the ground wherever we need to go, wherever the story is, you guys. We're going to tell it. Again, statuscoup.com/join. Low as $5 a month. It's literally the price of less than a cup of coffee. And I buy multiple coffees a day. Like, we have coffee every day, and I'm spending more money on that than you guys would to support independent media. And also, John, you see that? Oh, no, never mind, John. For sure. I don't either, because we're the only independent media here. Okay, we're the only independent media here. There's no one else out here. There's no other media platform out here on the ground, all right? And we're getting freaking rained on. So we're going to wrap up, you guys. I appreciate you for supporting our coverage. Thank you for supporting independent media. Thank you for trusting Status Coup News and Mercado Media for telling the story out here live, you guys. Live from Portland, Maine, I'm Andrew Mercado, my videographer, John Farina, from Status Coup News. Like the video, support the channel, subscribe, support the channel for as low as $5 a month, statuscoup.com/join. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Thank you so much.